Warning! The Anime Egotists have opinions about stuff and other stuff. Please understand this while watching the video and know that no opinion is a fact. Not even yours. So please enjoy the video. Or don't.
I'm Android17, and also Psyche's dad, and you're watching Anime Egotists.
And welcome back to the Anime Egotists, where nobody's looking at us to be in good fight scenes. We got me, Foster, and I'm joined by my co-host, who I really hope their mic is working, but you never know with us.
I'm Williamson. Hopefully it'll work this time.
There we go. Oh, but something that, you want to know something else that does work? Fights in anime, particularly Dragon Ball. Now, if you know this podcast, you know we are big Dragon Ball fans. Dragon Ball, Z, G, Super.
There were just good episodes in GT.
Yeah, but
the series, not so much, but good episodes.
Yeah, but I still have bones to pick with people who just randomly say GT was better than Super. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Don't say that. No. But not everything about Dragon Ball works, especially the fights, because there are a lot of fights that are amazing spectacles and just overall enjoyable things. But there are a lot of fights that just don't hold up or just don't work for the series.
And it's not just individual series. You can't just say, well, it's all the fights in Dragon Ball, because you got to remember where they were, especially when they later on introduced power levels and how fights changed throughout the series. So there are good fights in every single series based on where they're at as characters.
That's right. But for now, we're going to talk about the worst fights that we feel are in the Dragon Ball series. Of course, we'll do a list of the best fights. I can't even talk. The best fights in the series. Kind of like how we talked about we do the best Pokemon characters, which definitely happened. Right? We did that video, right?
Did we? I haven't gone back and checked our videos in a while.
I don't think we did. I think we're still waiting on Jogger Joe, but we'll figure that. But then again, we haven't told him. So, anyways, the worst fights in Dragon Ball. Do you mind if I start us off?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna start things off with pretty much the only fight from the original Dragon Ball series on my list. Krillin versus Bacterian. Now, you're a huge Dragon Ball fan. Do you remember Bacterian at all?
Yes. He's caveman, but very, very filthy.
What really? I don't know too many clean cavemen, but yes, you're essentially right. His gimmick is he's gross, he uses his flatulence to fight, and he's huge. Overall, I'm not against comedic fights in Dragon Ball. Far from it. I'm okay with comedic fights, but this joke ran out very, very quickly. Granted, it was only for an episode. The fight wasn't very long, but it still wasn't a fight that needed to happen, especially considering Dragon Ball wasn't nearly as complicated with its fight scenes. It was more about martial arts as opposed to high blast and giant explosions of everything. This is a fight that honestly would have been a lot worse if it overstayed its welcome, but it's still not a fight I like to watch.
From what I remember, Krillin still wins, which is good for the series. But yeah, as I said in our Naruto video, when a character uses farts as their weapon, it's not usually a good thing.
Yeah. But that's all I really had to say on it. What's your first worst fight thing?
So I'm going to start this one. I just don't like this one because of how characters are treated, and that's Majin Vegeta versus Goku.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. Go for it.
I really think that I know why they did it, and it leads to one of my favorite fights, which is Majin Vegeta versus Buu. And we'll get into that fight probably in our best fights, I imagine. But this is... I know they're making Vegeta angry, and that's leading him into Majin Vegeta throughout this beginning of this arc. But they could have done... I really feel that Vegeta at this point should have been... He had started showing signs of being less arrogant and stuff at certain points, and then all of a sudden, oh, no, he hasn't. And it's like, So now all he wants to do is fight Goku, and I really think that, especially as they develop his character later on in Super, which is only like a year later, it doesn't fit. He should have he's already had these connections starting to develop with his kids and stuff, and he doesn't. Here he's, oh, I'm gonna go work for the enemy now.
Okay, no, we don't normally disagree on this podcast, but I'm going to say I understand where you're coming from, but in defense of the fight, he was never completely under Babidi's control. Well, this what I like, and also kind of serves to how much of a badass Vegeta was at times. The second Babidi got in his head and gave him the power up, he's like, "Okay, Babidi, thanks. I'm good now. After this, I'll be able to go Super Saiyan 2. So thanks for that. Thanks for that. I'm gonna go fight." Like Kaka Krabby Patty or whatever his name is. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that they had already started to develop Vegeta's character, and he was supposed to be now has something to protect. He's not going to give that up, and he knows that if he does this, he's going to. So I feel that it just kind of hurt his character a little bit at this point. It's kind of redeemed later on, but at the way they were going, I don't think it fits.
I guess I can understand that. Though to be fair, at least he didn't let Boo absorb anybody this time. He immediately went after Boo when he knew, and he immediately tried to kill him. Unlike when he fought Cell. But yeah, but yes, I can understand your argument.
What about your next fight?
Okay, my next fight. I'm not, we've said before, I don't even know what Dragon Ball movies are filler anymore, but might as well just go with this. Garlic Jr. versus Goku and Piccolo. Now, we would go through this, how this movie works. We go through the classic trope of Goku and his friends fighting against the henchmen of the big bad, despite the fact that the henchmen seemingly aren't even all that evil. They just kind of just do as their master says so they don't die or anything. They're actually all pretty charming at some aspects. And some of them have really cool abilities and they just die immediately, which I understand why they want to do it, but I just feel like it can be different. You can make a different sort of movie based on that. But of course, it gets to the end where Garlic Jr. powers up and is fighting Piccolo and Goku. They think they beat him, and they immediately start fighting with each other for no real adequate reason, despite the fact that, you can sense energy. And all of a sudden, Garlic Jr. pops up, summons the dead zone, right? That's what it's called? The dead zone. Okay. Hey, he summons the dead zone, and Gohan just knocks him into it, and that's the only thing that can beat him, because Garlic Jr. is now immortal. That makes Garlic Jr. look like such an idiot. Like, the one thing that can beat him, and he just summons it.
Yeah. I don't remember this movie / I know there's a special as well, and that takes place in the actual anime, but all I can think about is Piccolo on cocaine from the abridged series.
Oh, goodness. Or was it Gohan when he ate that apple? Or whatever that fruit was.
It's some sort of cursed fruit, if I remember, but I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, either way, let's not act like let's not act like one is better than the other. Like this is a fight that makes the villain look stupid. The fight itself is not that great, and just Goku and Piccolo just randomly going after each other feels kind of weird. I don't know. I didn't enjoy this fight.
I agree. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much a filler movie and then a filler arc, and it doesn't really fit. So it's just there.
Yeah, but what's your next fight?
So I'm gonna go with Goku versus General Blue.
You said Goku versus Blue. You're cutting out a little bit.
Goku versus General Blue.
There we go. Okay, you're gonna have to talk for this because I don't remember this fight, if I'm being completely honest.
This is during the Red Ribbon Army arc in Dragon Ball.
Okay.
It takes place. There's a couple locations from what I remember, but General Blue is one of the ranking members. He's flamboyant. I don't know how else to put it, and but he's also a dick. And there's not I just don't like his character, and he stays around for way too long in this series.
Huh.
He's like one of the main ones. All the other ones Goku finishes off in an episode or two, and this one's like 4 or 5 episodes. So it's like the first of the Dragon Ball style of fighting where there's constant fighting. Oh, I'm powering up now, so now I'm stronger. Oh, well, you've powered up. I'll power up to my next level. And it's kind of, I think this is kind of the first of those.
I haven't seen that fight in so long, so I guess I just more or less have to co-sign on to that.
I mean, luckily it's only 4 or 5 episodes from what I remember, but it's been a long time since I've watched it, so.
I'm glad you didn't make us watch that fight when we were in college. That would have been the end of us being roommates. It would have been upsetting.
We could have gone back and watched Goku versus Frieza, which is 30 episodes, but at least it ends well.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, speaking of people tied to Frieza, should I go next? Tien, Chaozu, and Yamcha versus the Ginyu Force without Captain Ginyu. So, if those of you might not know what the hell I'm talking about, let me explain. So, after the Ginyu Force get killed, and they go to King Kai's planet, they meet Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, and I think Piccolo has already been wished back by this point.
It's close. I can't remember if he has been or not.
Yeah, but either way, and the whole thing is they're thinking, oh, well, we're gonna take over this whole planet for Captain Ginyu, even though Captain Ginyu's still alive, so it's not like it would matter to him. Whatever. Anyways, they have to fight Tien and the others. And you think to yourself, wow, the Ginyu Force gave, remember, Raccoon destroyed Vegeta, Krillin, Gohan. Goldo, of course, was super easy. And Burger and Jace were pretty much taken out by Goku and Vegeta. Basic stuff. But we also remember that Nappa killed pretty much all of these guys relatively easily. And of course, they've been training with King Kai. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe we can at least see how far they've come before King Kai shows up and just destroys all of them. Turns out, all three, Tien, Chaozu, and Yamcha, are pretty much able to get rid of the Ginyu Force really, really easily. It's kind of startling. Me thinking, okay, if we had somehow managed to bring all of these guys back, as powerful as they are now, they could do some serious damage. And of course, they do nothing for the rest of the series, with the exception of Tien when he fights Imperfect Cell, which is a pretty underrated moment in my eyes. But still, it feels like the Ginyu Force, I don't know if it necessarily made the rest of Z Fighters look competent now, or if it just made the Ginyu Force look like idiots. But it did make for a very impressive fight, especially considering how short it was.
I tend to agree. Thinking back on it, this could have been a good way to make them keep relevance throughout the series, because they could have been. So now you've got Tien, Chaozu, and Yamcha all should have known Kaioken.
Yeah. Fun fact: there is a video game where Yamcha learns Kaioken.
And he's still probably the weakest character.
He's one of them. It's unfortunate.
No, but in reality, they should have been able to do that. But yeah, it makes no sense because Goku was only at this certain level after there, and he's still he's not as strong as the Ginyu Force until he reaches there. So it really makes no sense.
Yeah, unless King Kai is the greatest instructor in the world, which makes me think, why isn't he in Xenoverse 2? Why can't I learn under King Kai as opposed to Raditz? Whatever, but that's it. That's mine. What's your next one? What's up for you?
My next one is going to be Goku versus Tien at the World Martial Arts Tournament the first time.
Okay, you're gonna have to specify that for some of our audience members.
So this one takes place after the Red Ribbon Army arc, and then there's a bit of a traveling arc from what I remember, and then we get here, and throughout the tournament, Tien is the big bad. He breaks Yamcha's arm or leg, I can't remember which, in their fight. He finds out that, oh, well, my master, who is the crane guy, is actually a bad guy, and kind of has a change of heart towards the end of the tournament. But pretty much throughout this fight, him and Goku are on par. And remember, this is still like kid, early teen Goku.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So he's not full grown, but they're on par with each other. And the fights overall is pretty good. It's just the ending is so stupid. So they go flying out of the ring, and
oh no, I know what this is now.
They're both about to fall out of the ring. Tien is about a foot closer to the ground than Goku. Goku gets hit by a truck and falls to the ground and loses.
Oh, that's right.
Like, well, technically this is interference in this fight, so either they both need to wait a day, get rest, and restart the fight, or Goku wins by default, and because it was interfered with. So.
The wrestling fan in you is still alive if you're using that logic. But yeah, because overall, because I was thinking of it there, because I like Tien. He's one of the more underrated characters. I like his fights. I like his style. But yeah, that's disappointing. That's upsetting.
He is a world martial art champion, but he only won because Goku got hit by a truck.
Hey, he still beat Goku before Vegeta ever did.
True. I'm surprised that did they ever bring that up in the Bridge series?
Yes, they did, and if I recall, Vegeta was not happy about it.
No, but in all honesty, the overall fight is good. It's just they should have just made it so that Goku landed first. They didn't need to have him get hit by a truck to.
Yeah, plus it makes Tien look that much more better if he's able to beat Goku like straight up legit.
And again, then we still can have the rematch in the next tournament, but which is actually really interesting because I do love the scene where Goku takes off the weighted clothes for the first time, and they're all like, "Oh my god, I'm carrying like 50 kilograms here."
Thank you, metric system.
But yeah, that one's mainly just it has a bad
ending. Yeah, I can understand that. Anyways, I'm next.
Go ahead.
Okay, Gotenks versus Super Buu. Now you might be thinking, well, which one, the one in the time chamber or the one outside? Well, yes, both. Look. I understand that Goten and Trunks, they're kids. I understand and that they're not going to be the most mature people. But come on, this is the fate of the world. Kill the son of a bitch. It's basically just Gotenks acting super cocky and arrogant and posing and doing a whole bunch of other stupid stuff, delaying him from, killing the guy who's trying to destroy the world, who's responsible for your father's death, Chi-Chi's death, all your friends are dead, and pretty much everybody on the world is going to be killed by this guy. And rather than, because at least we learned with Goku when he gave the sense of being the Cell, that actually did help Gohan in the long run. This did not. This was just stupid arrogance. And for characters who, a lot of people are saying, well, you should be harder on child characters. They're kids. I'm like, no, that's not how that worked. It was not a good start for Gotenks or Goten and Trunks, especially considering the future Trunks we met in the Android saga and the Cell saga was super cool and beloved by all the fans. So this was not a good contrast.
Yeah, and I know it's supposed to be because Trunks is actually being raised by his father in this series, so it's a different timeline and all that. But yeah, the character's too arrogant, and then there's not enough payout for Gotenks. It's like they were thinking a lot of with the Buu arc. It seems like they were thinking, okay, well, he's going to be the real hero because he's going to be stronger than everybody. Oh no, well, let's go back to Gohan. Gohan can be this hero. Oh no, people want Goku. Okay, we're going back to Goku. Goku's the hero of the series again. So the Boo arc overall has some issues, but
Yeah, they at least fix Gohan and Super for the most part. There's still a couple of red herrings, but overall, they've done more good for his character than they have bad. They fixed a good chunk of it.
yeah, now that he's learned to balance his life, so he's still able to be a professor or whatever he is, and then being able to then go back and be, but still be able to fight and be the guardian if need be, is a good thing.
Yeah, and knowing how the world in Dragon Ball works, that should be in about the next like 2 months. It seems like a giant attack like this happens like on the regular.
Well, we can expect. I mean, I imagine we'll eventually get another all either super anime continued because the manga's still going on, I think, or just finished another arc or
I was
something.
about to say,
So.
I've heard it's been so good, and I want it.
All right. Well, I guess it's my next one.
Go for it.
My next one I'm going to do is Vegeta versus Kui.
Vegeta versus Kui. Okay.
This is literally not even a fight. It's Vegeta killing someone. But they completely introduced Kui because, we need someone who was Vegeta's strength going into the Saiyan saga to show up to show how much he's grown from his Zenkai boost. Okay, who is this person? It's like they introduce Kui just so that Vegeta can kill him and prove how strong he is. It's like, I don't know who this is. So if he had actually done something, and then Vegeta had actually killed him, so destroyed a village, and Vegeta gets pissed off at him because he thinks he may have destroyed a Dragon Ball. Something along those lines to show Kui is actually strong versus, oh, well, he's dead now.
Well, I was about to say it didn't even seem like Frieza and the others liked him that much. It's just like, oh, who? Kui. Oh.
If they had done it as like he's Vegeta's, but he's below Ginyu, Zarbon, Dodori, and it was him and then Vegeta or something. Like they had shown that there was some structure that he was one of the top men in Frieza's army.
Yeah.
And shown us this, it would have been a good, oh my god, Vegeta is getting up there in strength versus, okay, well, he killed someone.
I do like the trick he used. I do like how he just, instead of like shooting a blast or anything, he just sort of blew him up with his fingers.
And did that thing?
Hmm?
Did that actually do anything? Or are you talking about Vegeta?
Yeah, Vegeta, when he like blasted Kui, but basically his fingers.
Oh, I was thinking you were saying Kui did something like that. I'm like, I don't remember Kui doing anything besides blowing up.
No, he didn't really. That seems like a technique that'd be so much more useful. Just point your fingers at somebody and they explode, but who knows?
It's him and Frieza done that.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm next.
Yep.
I don't like including movie stuff too often, but this I can't excuse this. Goten and Trunks versus Bio Broly. Do you know who Bio Broly is? Bio Broly. He's for those of you who don't know, Broly had a good few movies at first, and one of the movies was Bio Broly, where he basically turned into a giant green swamp thing and fought Goten, Trunks, and then eventually Gohan, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this is not the Broly we know. This is they pretty much strip everything about him. Instead of looking cool and menacing, he looks completely ridiculous and laughable. Not to mention, once again, we're getting Goten and Trunks, who I don't know why the creators like to focus so much on these two, considering their fights generally aren't very good. I tried not to put too many of them on this list, but this is one I really had to include. For what they did to Broly, for including two characters who once again just don't have very good fights in general, and just overall slog of a movie. This you can skip this movie. But then we got Dragon Ball Super Broly, so I guess everything worked out.
mean, they never, until this recent movie, they never did the best job with his character. He was just, oh, look who was crying. Instead, now at least he's got some. I really enjoy Broly's character in the new movie. At least it's a raid version, pretty much, of the legendary Super Saiyan version of Super Saiyan, so he has no control over it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd love to see Broly come back in future Dragon Ball Super-ish arcs, but not as Swamp Thing, not as Swamp Fire. Swamp Fire, that's not an anime reference, but I hope some people get it.
Yeah, it was not a good thing.
Sorry.
I was about to say, what's working? I don't know what's going on.
She's just as upset about Bryo Broly as I am. You tell him.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I've only ever watched this movie once, and there's a reason I've only ever watched it once.
Yeah. But anyways, that was the last fight on my list. What's your last fight?
I'm going for, well, okay, I actually lied to you earlier. I do have one honorable mention.
Oh, god damn it.
So I'm just going to quickly get this one out of the way. It's Vegeta versus Ada Magetta from Super in the Tournament 6 arc.
Oh, yeah. I remember this fight.
So it's a fine fight going on, but the only way Vegeta wins is by insulting his opponent.
Is it bad I felt bad for his opponent?
Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Especially when the show is all about getting power. And if it was outsmarting, but all Vegeta has to do is start insulting him, and that's all that it takes to win the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that fight sucked.
Okay, so now on to my actual final one. I think, right?
Yeah.
So my actual final one, though, is Goku versus Beerus on King Kai's planet in the show, not the movie. In the movie, it's fine because it's really good animation and the fight is, again, showing how powerful Beerus is. They really fucked this one up when they switched it to, when they reanimated it for the show. It's like,
oh, you're one of those people.
and I think they went back later on and fixed it, but the fact that you're trying to get a new show based on the new stories that you're telling in Dragon Ball that hasn't had new content in like a decade and a half.
It had been a good while.
The early 2000s when GT had ended, and so now they're redoing the timeline.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fix your mic a little bit, but I can hear you, but just please fix your mic because it doesn't sound great.
Oh, is this any better?
Much better. Perfect.
Sorry, I think it's when I turn away from it.
Okay, but anyways.
But yeah, so they just, to go from the movie where it was really good animation to this, and they fix it almost right away afterwards because the rest of the fights with Beerus and then his first arc are animated fine. But this one fight is just, and I'm not normally like this. I normally don't care about the animation, but when it's actually noticeable by me, I think there's an issue.
Yeah, I tell people the same thing. Like, the animation itself doesn't matter, but if I start to notice something, then there's a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, and I mean, there are still some issues, but every anime has a couple. Will probably have some sort of animation issue somewhere in it. But when it's like a whole fight and it's 2 episodes long, I think if I remember correctly, it maybe only be 1, but
something like that.
It's just, yeah, you have to work on this.
Yeah. When Dragon Ball fights mess up, they tend to really, really mess up. But that's only because we've seen them be amazing. We've seen them have awesome fights, some of the best fights in anime. And that's what we're going to be talking about when we do our best Dragon Ball fights eventually, sometime down the line.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, as you were saying though, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Naruto, I guess Bleach, those were the ones that our generation kind of grew up with watching to and got you into this is how you would find the other anime. You would watch these and then someone would recommend something else and you would go from there.
Yes, and nowadays when somebody recommends an anime, we say we watch it, but it just gets added to an endless dark void of recommended shows that we say we're going to watch, but are we actually going to? I don't think so.
I finally watched Demon Slayer, so and I kept telling people I wasn't going to watch it because it was shoved down my throat when I was looking for something new.
And I still haven't watched My Hero, so I guess we're two sides of a different same we're sides of a coin. However, but anyways, let us know. Oh, do you agree or disagree with any of these fights? What fights are on your worst list for Dragon Ball fights? And we'll take a look at the comments. We're trying to look in the comments a little more, even despite the fact that some comments are not helpful. But we still like your comments, guys. So just throw us anything, and we'll see you guys next time when we talk about something else. I don't know. We'll figure that out eventually.
This has been Williamson.
Oh, okay. Hey, and Foster.
And you've been watching the Anime Egotists. And just remember, if you disagree, you're wrong.
You saying scum.